You get your paycheck, you pay rent, you pay the bills, you buy groceries, maybe grab a coffee or two, maybe dinner out on Friday night, and by the time the month is over, if you're lucky, there's a few $100s left. You transfer maybe 100 of it to savings, feeling pretty good about yourself, honestly, and the rest quietly disappears into the places money always disappears. And you think, okay, I'm saving, I'm doing the responsible thing. Now imagine cutting your entire lifestyle in half, not trimming, not optimizing, half, saving 50 cents of every dollar that comes in. For most people, that sounds not just difficult, it sounds insane. It sounds like deprivation. It sounds like living without. And I completely understand why it sounds that way. But what if I told you that people who hit a 50% savings rate don't describe it as deprivation at all? What if the math behind it and the psychology is so radically different from what you'd expect that it actually changes how you think about money entirely? That's what we're talking about today. Let's start with where most people actually are, because context matters. The average American personal savings rate hovers around 4 to 5% of disposable income, according to the Bureau of Economic Analysis. 4 to 5%. That means the average person earning $60,000 a year is saving roughly $2,400 to $3,000 annually. At that rate, assuming a 7% average annual return, it would take approximately 43 years to accumulate enough to retire comfortably. 43 years. That's the default. That's what you're opting into if you do what everyone around you is doing. Now let's look at what changes at 50%. Someone earning that same $60,000 a year and saving 50% is putting away $30,000 every single year. At a 7% average annual return, that person reaches financial independence in roughly 17 years, not 43, 17. The difference between a 5% savings rate and a 50% savings rate isn't just a numbers game. It's the difference between retiring at 67 and retiring at 42. Now, you might be thinking, that's mathematically interesting, but completely unrealistic for my life. And I hear you, but here's what the people actually doing this have figured out. The relationship between spending and happiness is not linear. There's a mountain of behavioral economics research, including work by Nobel Prize winner Daniel Kahneman, showing that beyond a certain income threshold, roughly $75,000 to $100,000 a year in the United States, additional spending produces diminishing returns on actual life satisfaction. The fifth restaurant meal of the week doesn't make you 5 times happier than the first one. The second streaming service doesn't double your entertainment satisfaction. What you're paying for most of the time is the feeling of abundance, not the experience of it. Here's a way to think about it. Every dollar you spend is a vote for the life you have right now. Every dollar you save is a vote for the freedom to choose a different life later. Most people are spending almost all their votes on the present. A 50% saver is splitting the vote, half for now, half for the version of their life that doesn't need a job to function. Let's talk about what the 50% life actually looks like in practice, because I think people imagine it wrong. They imagine someone eating rice and beans in a cold apartment, and yes, for some people in early stages, it is intense, but the research on high savings rate households and the FIRE movement has generated a lot of real data on this, shows that the majority of that 50% doesn't come from radical deprivation. It comes from 3 categories: housing, transportation, and food. These 3 categories alone account for roughly 70% of the average American household budget, and they're all highly negotiable. A person hitting 50% savings on a $70,000 salary is saving $35,000 a year. To do that, they're keeping their housing costs at or below $700 to $800 a month, maybe a smaller place, a cheaper city, a roommate. They're driving a used car they own outright, not a $500 a month lease. They're cooking most of their meals and eating out deliberately rather than habitually. These aren't extraordinary sacrifices. These are choices that feel normal within 3 to 6 months of making them. The research on hedonic adaptation, the human brain's remarkable ability to normalize new circumstances, shows that people adjust to lower spending lifestyles just as readily as they adjust to higher spending ones. The pain of the transition is temporary. The compound interest is permanent. Here's what most people never consider. A 50% savings rate doesn't just build wealth, it builds identity. When you become someone who saves 50%, you make decisions differently, you value differently. You stop measuring your status by what you consume and start measuring it by what you've built. And that shift from consumption identity to builder identity is worth more than any investment return because it compounds in every area of your life. The people who get there describe it less like discipline and more like clarity. The noise of constant wanting quiets down, the anxiety of financial insecurity fades, and what's left is a kind of calm that people who optimize for the highest possible spending seem to never find, no matter how much they earn. You don't need to be there tomorrow, you just need to be moving towards it. Pick your current savings rate, add 5 points to it, automate it before this week is over, and let the math do the rest. Because the math, once you actually set it in motion, is genuinely one of the most motivating things you will ever see work in your favor. If this shifted something for you, drop it in the comments. Where are you right now and where do you want to be? If it was valuable, please like the video. It helps more people find this. Subscribe and hit the bell. Next week, we're going deep on the exact budget breakdown of someone living on a 50% savings rate at a $65,000 income, line by line. See you in the next one.